There's many things about Cyberpunk 2077 that make it such a special game to me. There's the epic moments, where there's lots of action and explosions popping off. Then there's also the quieter moments, where characters get to connect and reflect, where relationships are created and deepened. And then there's the world of Cyberpunk 2077, its world building, its immersive story, its writing, its themes, the clashing of technology and humanity, of wealth and poverty, of opinions and ideologies, and of right and wrong. And through it all, there's the freedom you have to choose your own path and play the game your own way. All these things, and more, come together to make Cyberpunk 2077 an unforgettable experience unlike any other, and are the reasons why it became one of my all-time favorite games. Thankfully, they're also what the Ultimate Edition of Cyberpunk provides even more of. I loved Cyberpunk when it first came out. Immersing myself into its world, I put in almost 300 hours into the PC version, first playing as a street kid and then as a corpo, finishing the game 100% on each as the female V, and managing to get all the achievements. But even after all the updates that were brought to the game, including the release of Phantom Liberty, the game's first and only expansion, I hadn't really taken the chance to jump back into it until almost 2 years later. So when I started replaying the game recently, I took it as a chance to play the final story path, Nomad, and to finally try out Phantom Liberty in full. And as soon as I stepped back into it, I was quickly reminded of why I loved this game so much. The world of Cyberpunk is an addictive, immersive place to be. Its story, characters, audio, and gameplay all effortlessly draw you into Night City's vibrant, dystopian world right from the get-go. Its story, a tragic rags-to-riches tale, is infused with gangster storylines, heists, and plot twists that rival the best GTAs. But here, there's a dark sci-fi twist to them, with corporate intrigue, critiques on technology, intense drama, and some surprisingly heartwarming moments thrown in. It's all written excellently, from the main story to the numerous side quests, and I was often impressed at how natural, witty, and entertaining the dialogue was. But for me, it's the game's characters that made the game truly memorable. V, the character you play as, feels right at home in Night City as an up-and-coming mercenary trying to make a name for themselves. Supporting characters like Jackie Wells and the epic Johnny Silverhand fit perfectly into this world, the worldviews and beliefs being revealed through the dialogue and the action, showing just how the world they live in has molded them. It really feels like the characters in the game have grown up in different communities, with different traditions and outlooks on life that have affected them in meaningful and unique ways. The voice actors also bring their characters to life with impeccable ability, with Keanu Reeves' performance as Johnny Silverhand being my favorite. I also have to give a shout out to the voice actress for female V, Jeremy Lee, who does an incredible job. Many characters in Night City are determined to get rich and famous, with no qualms about how they'll get there, even if it means going down in a blaze of glory. It's an interesting theme that's present throughout the game, as well as the consequences of living such a life. It's also a theme that's portrayed excellently in the awesome Netflix anime, Cyberpunk Edgerunners, which I highly recommend. Cyberpunk 2077's incredible world building is one of the game's strongest points. The lingo, factions, locations, tech, history, and numerous other details all give Night City its character, making its world feel alive. In the year 2077, technology has affected Night City in a large way, impacting pretty much every aspect of daily life. From ads selling body modification technology to prototype ways to transfer your soul, technology in the world of Cyberpunk 2077 is rampant and inescapable, and so is the consumerism surrounding it. Even though technology has made life more convenient, it's also been a large contributor to Night City's deterioration, and I really like how the game portrays the consequences of widespread, invasive technology on society and people's daily lives. The game has lots of interesting takes on technology of the future that even in this day and age, feel surprisingly prescient. With AIs writing prize-winning literature to body augmentation and net running, it's a future that's both impressive and terrifying, and one that seems extremely plausible. One subject that I find particularly interesting is cyberpsychosis. It affects and destroys the minds of those addicted to body modification, and I really like how the game deals with it. And technology isn't only relegated to the story and lore, it's also a part of the gameplay, with cyberpsychosis, net running, and quick hacking an integral part of combat and exploration. My playstyle this time around was a cyber ninja, using stealth and hacking to take out enemies quietly, and then jumping out to attack with silenced pistols and katanas if I happened to be found. But with the overhauling of the leveling system and the game encouraging even more experimentation, I ended up trying projectile systems, optic ammo, and even the time-slowing Sandevistan cyberware, having a blast each step of the way. But I had tons of fun with the cyberpsychosis quick hack in particular. It let me turn enemies cyber psycho, causing them to attack anyone in their vicinity, and then taking themselves out if there was no one left. It's extremely satisfying to cause havoc among enemies, making them take themselves out without even having to lift a finger. And being able to easily redistribute perk points and change up abilities encouraged me to try out new builds and experiment with different weapons and playstyles, giving me an even larger appreciation of all the tools they give players to go wild with. The graphics and gameplay are also incredible, at least on the PC. Playing at 1440p Ultra with DLSS on auto, on an i9-9900K and RTX 2080, I had a blast. Sure, the game has its bugs, but that doesn't stop it from being incredible when everything is running as intended. I'm also very happy that the developers keep improving the game. It feels like every time I jump back into it, there's been numerous things added. New cars, new bikes, new features, new customization options, quality of life improvements, content from the Edge Runners anime, all for free. They don't have to keep doing it, but I'm extremely happy that they do. Finally getting a chance to try out the Phantom Liberty expansion in full, I was very happy to find out that it's also incredibly good. The developers seem to have taken a quality over quantity approach to the content here, and I'm very glad that they did. The new content has more weight and significance to the story and gameplay, especially in regards to the choices and moral quandaries that you're faced with. Activities, gigs, bosses, and missions are more varied and in-depth, with more significant rewards like unique weapons as a result of their completion. There might not be as much to do in Dogtown, but what there is to do is much more meaningful and rewarding. This applies to the story of Phantom Liberty as well. There's less characters, but they're much more fleshed out and integral to the story. The spy story raises the stakes, especially when it comes to who to believe and who to trust. Many decisions leave you wondering whether what you did was the right thing. There are no clear-cut bad guys or good guys, just various shades of grey, so you're constantly unsure of whether you'll be betrayed by whoever you chose to side with. And Idris Elba's performance as a grizzled veteran spy is also a highlight. The characters in Phantom Liberty wrestle with doing things for causes that they may not completely believe in. None of the characters seems to have all the right answers. No one is perfect, and neither are the choices that you make. Finally, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the game's audio. The sound design is great at immersing players into Cyberpunk 2077's futuristic dystopia, and the music itself is incredible. There's a large variety of songs on the radio, but it's the scores for both the main game and Phantom Liberty that are my favorites, and I often find myself listening to both of them from time to time. So all in all, Cyberpunk 2077 quickly became one of my all-time favorite games, and it's only gotten better with time. The game is incredibly vast and ambitious, and it's filled with so many impressive details and moments that it's hard to sum them all up in one video. The high aspirations the developers had for the game ended up creating a bona fide masterpiece. A flawed one, yes, but a masterpiece nonetheless. One that gives an experience unlike any other, and ends up towering far above many other games. So give it a try, and see for yourself what Night City has to offer.